Hey, Bama fan, we see you. We know you. You
We love you.
deserve all the credit and all the attention in the world because you scream roll tide at somebody. Guess what? We're going to give you all of our attention. But here's the problem. We are not Kirby Smart. And
No.
you're going to get Kirby Smart's full attention this week.
Oh, no.
You wanted the smoke. Well, you got it. Next on
coming.
Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel. He is Clint. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app for $20 off. More on them in a second. Let me just start here. Thank you for making today's show your first listen. Thanks for all of you who have subscribed on YouTube. All of you who have subscribed to the audio podcast. We love you. We're glad that you're here. We got a giveaway that we're doing. Stay tuned to the third segment if you want details on that.
But Daniel, I want to know now.
Well, we're going to have to wait till the third segment on that. It's just for the $199. So if you're here in the third segment, you're part of the $199. Even if you're an Alabama fan, secrets out. You could be part of the $199 and be an Alabama fan. We know we have loyal listeners. We know that we have loyal listeners in the Alabama fan base. And listen, we love you. We're glad that you're here. Let me just start here and bring everyone together. By the way, Clint and I went with the matching shirts tonight. It was a decision that.
Holy jeez, I didn't even realize that. Do you have the Hinley button?
I don't.
Okay, well then we're fine.
We're here on a Monday.
Yes.
Talking about our team that's going to play football on Saturday. Now.
No, there's a lot to that, Daniel, because it's really important to understand that it's not everyone. That's not a custom thing that a lot of people can say.
It's not all the teams that are going to be playing football on Saturday. It's only a small handful. It's championship week. It is some of the best time of the year. These next several weeks, it's going to be a lot of fun, we hope, on the podcast, or it's going to spiral out of control and be an absolute disaster. Either way, we're excited to be here. We're excited for you to be here.
Talk about that later in the week, Daniel. We might have to do a hypothetical.
No.
Will this be the craziest downward spiral ever in the history of the pod? Because
you can't do a what if on that sort of a thing. You can't do that. You can't do that what if. Here's what we know. We know that Georgia, coming off a shaky-ish performance against an inferior opponent.
I will allow it.
On the road in a rivalry game. And Alabama fans cannot relate to that experience. They because I said inferior opponent. Hey. And so Georgia was playing an inferior opponent. Meanwhile, Alabama played Auburn. And Peyton Thorne came out there and just right through the defense.
But it wasn't. I mean, he carved Georgia up running as well, Daniel. So Bama must have that in common. Oh wait, but he didn't pass for many times. You made him look like Patrick Mahomes out there a few times in that fourth quarter. So
you did. Also, peep the final score if you're interested in the comparison between Georgia and Auburn.
Well, that's interesting.
Here's the thing. Everybody knows that Jalen Milroe is the Heisman front runner. At this point in time, he wants the trophy. Give him the Heisman Trophy. He wants it. He's got to be the front runner for the award. He's had such an incredible, prodigious season at quarterback.
Sure.
A lot of Georgia fans have seen the Georgia run defense, not just last week, but in this season in its entirety. They know that Jalen Milroe's arm is equivalent to a pool noodle and is virtually useless in all forms. And so they think to themselves, can Georgia stop this Alabama rushing attack? Jace McClellan, Jalen Milroe, the Alabama offensive line can let's don't even. I tried to say it with a straight face. That man snapped that ball. He just flung it betwixt his legs. He just flung it all manner of way down the field.
I will tell you this, Bama fan. Again, glad you're here. Nick Saban has done more with the worst offensive line than I've seen in quite some time. I will hand it to you.
He's done more with less.
That
on
offensive
this
line
team. It's a heck of a coaching job by Nick Saban.
Disgusting. Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator of the year. Just give him the trophy now. Browse Award winner.
Well, maybe you would want to check on how Alabama's statistically stacked up on offense first. But either way, how is Georgia going to slow down this Alabama rushing attack? Now, Clint, on the show on Saturday, you alluded at the end that you, in fact, are not nervous about this. And so I would like for you to begin this conversation, set the people up, give us where we're going. We might have to bleed into the second segment if we have to, whatever. But you tell us why you're not scared of this vaunted Alabama rushing attack with an athletic quarterback.
He is.
And a physical runner in Jace McClellan, and a team that has run the ball really effectively all season long, and a Georgia defense that has seemed suspect against the run, especially lately against good teams like Missouri, and even against teams like Georgia Tech.
Okay, that's fantastic. Daniel and I both get to say it's like that Seinfeld episode in which George and Jerry realize that they can't be a man unto themselves, but combined they might create one whole man. Daniel and I
wore the same shirt.
Daniel and I might not be able to be football geniuses like Kirby Smart, but possibly with our two brains combined, we might be able to get half the way to Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart. So both of us get to be true on this. I will start with my truth because my truth is real truth. Kirby Smart in that post-game presser was talking about what happened against Georgia Tech that at times looked really, really pitiful against the run. And he said, well, there's two. What kind of run? He asked back, what kind of run do you mean?
He likes the snapback this year. He likes to. He's a little feisty,
little viperish.
Yeah.
And he made comment that there's different types of runs. And I had made comment about this on the podcast that when you're talking about a power run game, a zone gap run game, or a misdirection play. Now, I think when you play a team like Georgia, who has talent everywhere and speed and athleticism everywhere, top to bottom, you want to use their strengths to your advantage. Now, that sounds weird, but you do misdirections. And they did it a handful of times. Georgia Tech would pull guards opposite play side and then go play side with some sort of zone or some sort of quarterback or some sort of screen, testing the eyes, get the linebackers out quick, follow their reads, get them off the ball, and then have to have a safety come up and make a tackle on a running back. Now, the play that I'm talking about, there was actually a tackle on there. Other times there were not, because the safety fits, as Kirby alluded to, were not good in the run scheme. They were bad. But he did say, are we talking about zone, gap, or misdirection? And he said, because Georgia Tech was essentially running the triple option back there with the looks they gave. And you could see this. It wasn't the traditional triple option. It wasn't even RPOs. It was something vastly different. It was the spin to one side, play side, turn for the quarterback, and then come back the other way with some jet motion or with some satellite motion or something like that. Now, here's why I'm not concerned at all, because I saw Tennessee try to do this to no avail. Auburn did a version of this, but the quarterback was the main point. And same with Missouri. When you try to run at the teeth of Georgia, you're asking for pain. You're being an idiot is what you're doing. When you misdirect, you can find something. You have to have those safety run fits, and you have to have linebackers who follow their keys or who aren't quick enough or who maybe lack in eye discipline, like our young linebackers are doing. That's where you have some success. Alabama does not do that. Alabama is a power run team. Run at your teeth, try to bully you, and Milroe sits back and then tries to scramble. This is not the recipe Georgia's been beaten with or had looked desperate against. That's not it. So I'm not concerned. Georgia Tech can do that. Now, Daniel's going to come back after the break, and he's going to tell you also something Kirby Smart said, that two things can be true at the same time. And this makes me a little bit more nervous. But first, we want to let you know about this. And this is, in fact, Game Time. Game Time is fantastic, y'all. Why are they fantastic? Because they get you where you need to go right now. And they're not going to charge you exorbitant fees. They're not going to mess around with you. They're not going to give you a hassle on how to get your tickets. You're going to go on a Game Time, and maybe you're looking for SEC championship game tickets and you need it last minute. Maybe you decided to go ahead and use that PTO because by the end of the year, guess what? If you don't use it,
you lose it.
It's gone. So, hey, get on over
Alabama
to Game
fans,
Time.
PTO is something that you have if you work a job that pays you a salary. And then sometimes when you don't work an hourly, I'm sorry, go ahead. Game Time.
GameTime.co, also the Game Time app. Download it right now. Get over there, download and use promo code LockedOnCollege for $20 off your order. Get last minute tickets, safe, reliable, quick, easy, convenient, and they're not going to kill you in fees. Daniel and I love them. We use them. We will continue to use them because they are the best ticket prices on the internet. Game Time app, promo code LockedOnCollege for $20 off right now. All right, Daniel. So you heard the same presser I did. You were on this podcast on Saturday talking about maybe another aspect of the run game that made you vomit watching this defense. And Kirby also had the same feels as you did.
Yeah, and I'll make no bones about this. I am extremely confident. Listen to me, Georgia fans and Alabama fans. I'm extremely confident that Georgia is going to beat Alabama by multiple scores on Saturday. Extremely confident in this point.
Come back for locks in which that 4.5.
And it has nothing to do with the defense. It has everything to do with Mike Bobo, Carson Beck, Brock Bowers, and this Georgia offense, which is not stoppable. Now, the Georgia defense is not the USC defense. They are not.
Come on.
They are not just an absolute sieve through which offenses just run up and down the field. We're not LSU. And so, am I concerned about Alabama's ability to score against us? Absolutely, I am. Do I predict that Alabama is going to have a lot of success offensively against Georgia and score? Yes, I do. But we're going to get some stops. And listen, some stops is going to be plenty to win this game. It's going to be plenty to win this game because Alabama's going to get 1, maybe 2 stops in this game. So I'm going to get out in front and I'm going to say all that to begin with. But right now, let's talk about the Alabama run game versus the Georgia run defense. And I'll tell you why I'm not confident at all in our ability to stop it. Number one, because the Alabama coaches and football team has eyes, watches film, and can easily run however they want to in order to. Now, I get you're not going to change your entire scheme around, but you can easily include misdirection, which every single offense in the country has. You can easily include some things to confuse these young linebackers and get our eyes in the wrong place because you said it. Georgia's got plenty of talent on defense. Do you know what Georgia lacks on defense, particularly up near the line of scrimmage? They lack experience.
Here we go.
And there is no substitute for experience. CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson are coming along, but they are not going to get there between now and Saturday. And so there's going to be plenty of effort given to. Now, has that been Alabama's MO thus far in the season? No, I agree with you. Maybe not necessarily, but my first point is it easily could be and probably will be on Saturday. And so I think Georgia should expect to see some of that. My second point, though, is much simpler, much more direct, and much more hurtful if you're a Georgia fan. But I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to tell it to you like it is. Again, Alabama fan, we're going to beat you by multiple scores on Saturday.
That's interesting.
So enjoy this thing that I'm about to say, and then enjoy the L that you're going to take on Saturday, and then enjoy Nick Saban's retirement because he's done. It's over.
Enjoy that.
It's over. Maybe you can hire Mark Stoops. He's still available.
Stop. Okay. Stop.
Maybe. I'm just saying. Good coaches are being snatched up left and right while you're out here believing Nick Saban's got another championship in him. Okay. Georgia's a soft defense. And I just won't hear any arguments to the contrary. They're a soft defense. Georgia Tech may have run certain types of runs. They may have run misdirection. They may have run all these things. But there was also the point of attack. On all these plays, one person collides with another person. And if you just pay attention to those collisions, you will learn a lot about a football team. And I learned that Georgia Tech, in their run game, was more physical than Georgia in its run defense on Saturday. I saw that against Missouri. I have seen that at various points throughout this season. Georgia lacks physicality on the defensive side of the ball. And that is the place where I think Alabama is really going to exploit Georgia on Saturday. Because while this offensive line is incredibly overrated, and for Alabama, this offensive line for Alabama, incredibly overrated and has really struggled in some areas, they are big and physical and move people in the run game. And Georgia has a propensity. Now, there's some guys up front on that defensive front that are really good. But I'm talking about across the board, Georgia lacks a physicality that we are used to seeing on the defensive side of the ball. And it's going to show up on Saturday. Georgia's going to give up some points. They're going to give up some yards. And it's going to be frustrating at times to watch against Alabama. But again, Alabama's not going to be able to do this with enough consistency to really make Georgia nervous, because Georgia's offense will not be stopped by Alabama. And so when it comes to the run game, yes, I am nervous. When it comes to this defense, yes, I am nervous. I may be close to officially changing my thoughts from last week in terms of who I don't want to see in the playoff based on the run game alone and Georgia's inability to slow down the run game.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on this quite a bit, because I understand Georgia Tech is not a world beater. I really do understand that, but they are the 16th best rushing offense in the entire nation. That's including the game against Georgia. 16th best in the entire nation, above teams like Oregon, Texas, UCLA, Boston College, North Carolina, right in there with Auburn. They're at the same exact
where's
level.
Alabama rank on that list?
Alabama, well, I got to go a little bit here, Daniel. You're asking me to do something I wasn't prepared to do. They're down on the list. It's not anywhere near. I'm going to be honest.
It's not 1 through 50? 44th. Interesting. Oh, it's interesting. Oh. The things you're saying interest me. I have interest. Let's just say I have interest.
Okay, when facts hit, Georgia is 30th. So 30th in the league in rushing. And again, if you're telling me where Alabama's going to get its bread and butter is the rushing game, and I say that's the best thing you do on offense, because I've seen your quarterback. I've seen your wide receivers. I know your offensive line can't pass pro. And you're going to tell me, you're going to come at me. Here's my best thing. I'm going to beat you running the ball. And your rush attack is 44th in the nation. I don't find that scary one bit. Bama fan.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Alabama runs the ball a lot on pass plays. Right? Let's call it what it is. Alabama runs the ball because the offensive line can't protect.
No.
Jalen Miller drops back. He doesn't know how to read a defense. Flat out does not know how to read a defense.
Josh Heupel would love to take the job next year to give you a one-read offense. Milrow.
He's got somebody in his lap right off the bat. But guess what? He is more physical and more athletic than that person. And a soft defense will struggle to bring him down. That's my point. Georgia's going to struggle. And it's not just scheme. It's because Georgia lacks a certain physicality that we are used to seeing on the defensive side of the ball.
Before we recorded this, I hopped on and I saw Roquan Smith running around and hitting Chargers. And
Sunday night at the time of recording, by the way, and you love to watch Roquan Smith play football. How much would you pay right now for Roquan Smith to be on this Georgia team?
Well, I would pay everything that's in my checking account so that then I could take all in my savings account and bet it for us to win the national championship.
Alabama fan, a savings account is something that I had to.
I
had
was
to. All right, we'll be right back. Details on the giveaway and more right after this.
This is, in fact, FanDuel. Daniel,
you want to talk about some accounts that we have that are stocked to the gills.
Facts are emerging.
You boys are on a bit of a heater. Okay, we both went 5-2 last week. 3 straight winning weeks, giving out locks. Some of y'all were ready to just leave us for dead. By the way, I am like 8 games over 500 on the season.
Yeah, no,
for locks. Like
you have come roaring back.
Having
Daniel.
a pretty fine year. All of the bets that we make all throughout the season are made on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the #1 sportsbook that we trust, the official sportsbook partner of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, the Locked On Podcast Network, everywhere. Make every moment more at FanDuel.com/lockedon. You go there right now and you place your first bet as little as $5. You place a bet, whether it wins or loses, you're going to get bonus bets added right to your account. That's free bets that you can use to bet on the Alabama money line if that so inclines you, or bet on Washington money line, because why is everyone just 1,000% confident that Oregon is going to win this game on Friday night in the Pac-12 championship game? It's a little too fishy for me. Go to FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's how you get the bonus bets into your account. Make every moment more at FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel.com/lockedon.
All right, Daniel.
All right, Clint, let's, before we get into the third segment.
$199. If you don't know what the $199 is, you're here. You're listening to my voice. So what? You're part of the $199. Congratulations. I dawn you. I knight you. $199.
It's the loyal third segment listeners, the ones that stay till the end, the ones that we can count on. We love doing this show. We have a lot of fun doing it. Some of you can take a joke. Some of you struggle on that front, but we're not deterred. We have a lot of fun recording the show. We love it, and we do it for you guys. You guys are the best. We want to say thank you. And so SEC Championship Week, we thought a great way to do that would be to give away a $75 gift card to Home Field. It's one of our favorite apparel brands. Clint and I both have multiple items of clothing, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. They got the jackets now at Home Field. There's just a lot of great stuff that Home Field is offering. We're giving away a $75 gift card to Home Field, and we're going to give that away. We're going to announce that winner the Monday after the SEC Championship game, so that's 1 week from today. And so here's what you have to do to enter. All you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and to the audio podcast on any platform of your choosing. And then you just have to send us an email at lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. By the way, the link that was in the show description on Saturday's show was messed up, but I fixed it, and it will be fixed moving forward. So if you want to hit the link to the email, it's in the description, but it's lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. Send us an email just saying you want to enter the contest. We will choose a random winner a week from today from all of those emails. As long as you're subscribed to both channels, then you will be eligible to win, and we will give you your gift card. All right, Clint, what else do we take away from Kirby's presser or this Georgia Tech game that makes us look forward either confidently or with a little trepidation towards the SEC championship game?
I don't. We've said this in so many ways, but I don't know how to keep saying it without sounding redundant, and so I apologize if I do. But Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, and Dylan Bell are all going to be on the field at the same time in the biggest spotlight game of the year.
And Ra-Ra Thomas.
And Dom Lovett and Oscar Delp. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me keep going.
Is Kendall Milton
and Kendall Milton is going to be fully healthy. And oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm not done. Amarius Mims is fully healthy.
He's a go boy. Some of the blocks that I saw from Amarius Mims on Saturday. Now, by the way, we are talking about the 131st rush defense in America. So just so we're clear, if we're going to talk about Georgia Tech, the 16th best rushing offense in the country.
I hear you.
To be fair and balanced, which this show is nothing if not fair and balanced.
People start when they talk about us, they say Daniel is fair, Clint is balanced.
That's fair and balanced. That's who we are.
The yin and the yang.
Also, people love this banter.
They love the
back and forth.
I don't know how to repeat myself so many times, but we heard Kirby post game. We saw in this game he rested 2 starters to get them prepared for this week. There was
He
no
said
ifs,
if
ands,
they
or
were
buts about it.
healthy, they would have played. If they were healthy enough to play, they would have played. There's not a person on this planet that believes you, Kirby Smart.
Kirby, just wink at me next time somebody
Kirby,
asks
there's
that
not
question.
one person on this planet that
You were
believes that
never
is
going
true.
to play those 2.
If it was the national championship game, you're telling me Brock Bowers' sore foot would have prevented him from playing. Okay.
But Bama, like, I don't know how to tell you. You have 0 answer. You don't have 5 DBs who are as big as linebackers and run as fast as Lad McConkey and can tackle Brock Bowers and can keep up in a box with Dylan Bell and who aren't going to get manhandled by Kendall Milton. Like, you don't have those dudes. I hate to break it to you. We have those dudes. And I heard post-game and I saw in the game, there's a deliberate attempt to rest them and get them going, be on the sideline, just like Brock was when he traveled. And then the next week, miraculously, after he comes back and is playing, which I never thought was going to happen. Daniel, this offense is full steam ahead in the SEC championship game. With the final month of the season, everybody's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And Dylan Bell showed that even if they weren't healthy, he could carry this team, and Kendall Milton and Rosemary and Ra and everybody. Holy jeez. Like, what I'm going to say again is this is the best offense in America. And
it is.
We'll slice you and dice you any way we want.
It is. And Washington just going out there and shot the bed for the last month, like proving us right.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep LSU, and then you can keep it.
Don't want it.
You can keep it.
I don't want it.
This is the most efficient and most explosive, dynamic, versatile offense in America. I told my son as we were watching on Saturday, and this is, the sword cuts both ways. I told him there's only 2 things in this world that can stop this Georgia offense.
Okay.
Number 1 is a turnover. Number 2 is the end zone. Those are the only 2 things. So Alabama, listen, that's your hope. Georgia turned the ball over left, right, and each other way on Saturday. Lost the turnover battle on the road. Won the game. We didn't need a Hail Mary to win the game. We just won the game after losing the turnover battle. If you're going to beat Georgia on Saturday, it's going to be because this offense turns the ball over multiple times. That's it. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just telling you that's the way you'll stop this Georgia offense. Or when we're in the end zone, we'll kick off to you. Like that. We don't onside kick very often. And so you will get the ball back at that point. But you're not going to be fielding a lot of punts in this game. It's just not going to be what you're going to do.
No. Dallas Turner, while a good player, again,
a dirty player. And yes, that's what
dirty player, a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
No, he's actually a dirty player, though.
No. Like it's
his intent is to hurt the opponent. He's dirty. He's the Nick Fairley, Alabama fans.
There we go.
Of Alabama.
Yeah. It's that simple. You don't have 5 of those, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
And
you can't injure enough players.
You can't injure enough players. And what I'm telling you is your best is not better than our 7th best. That's what I'm trying to communicate to you.
Well, it's not great. It's not great in that regard. So when Georgia has the ball, I will be overly excited on Saturday. When Alabama has the ball, maybe find me in the corner. It's not going to be great, but when Georgia has the ball on Saturday, I'm going to be
is running through folk. Daniel, when you see that stupid maroon, that purplish color,
we'll call it purple,
get dragged over and over and over by Kendall, and when he gets up smiling. It's going to be the best photo in the world for me.
It's going to be nice. A better photo is going to be the scoreboard at the end.
Well, yeah,
when it says like 38-17 or something
Here we go.
like that.
Here we go. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Come back, little third segment. Get the email. Come back. We're gonna be back tomorrow, every single day, talking Locked On Bulldogs. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.